Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an emerald ore block. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system, because if you like this particular statue right here, feel free to check out my Minecraft item tutorials playlist, which will have loads of stuff exactly like this. But moving on, if you want to make the statue, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some stone block, then flip over, grab yourself some lime wool, some dark green wool, and finally guys, grab yourself some white wool, and those are the only four materials that you're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I will be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your emerald ore block with a row of 16 stone coming directly up from the ground. That's 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then take that top block, that 16th block, and go right of it by 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then connect that 15th block down to the ground, and then take the block that touches the ground and connect it all the way back to where you first started to give you a nice big square shape. What you then want to do is take each one of the four corners of your square shape and extend them, coming towards you each by 15. So that will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we want to do the same 3 more times. Except I don't want to count that out 3 more times, because obviously I don't really want to count to 45 in total. So I'm just going to use that very first row, which is that bottom left hand corner row, to measure out all of these other rows. And it's easy to do that because what we have to do is also connect each one of those 15th blocks together. So if we just start from that bottom left hand corner, we can use that to measure out and make sure that we have got all of the right rows. And so far we have, but I think this last one might be wrong yet. We've just got to destroy that block, then we can connect this block all the way down, and we'll end up with a nice big giant empty stone cube, like so. Now, once you have your stone cube, we can now get to work on the finer details of the emerald ore block. So it really doesn't matter which side we start this on, guys, because each one of these sides are actually identical. Each one of the 4 sides, including the top, is pretty much the exact same thing. So I'm starting on this side. Once you've figured out which side you want to begin on, start from the bottom left hand corner of this empty space that we have here, and on top of this second block that we have of stone, you want to place a lime green wall on top of this. Go right of it by 1 with the dark green. On top of the lime green, place a white. On top of the dark green, place a lime green. And once you've done that, you have an individual emerald. We're going to be repeating this a lot throughout this tutorial. So take this top right hand corner block, this lime green wall block, and go right of it by 5 with your stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a lime wool on top of that block. Then a white wool on top of that. Place a dark green going right of that lime green, and place a lime green going right of the white. Continuing to go right of the lime green that you placed, do a row of 4 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a lime green wool, followed by a dark green. Place a lime on top of the dark green wool, and a white on top of the lime green. Go left of that white wool by 1. Continuing to go left, place a dark green wool, followed by a lime green wool. On top of the dark green, place a lime green, and on top of the lime green, place a white wool. And that's the original lime green wool that we placed. Going left of the lime green, I should have said place a white wool. Then, continuing to go left, do a row of 2 stone. Then do 1 dark green, still going left, and then 1 lime green, still going left. On top of this lime green wool, place a white, and on top of the dark green wool, place a lime green wool. Then place a stone each on top of the white and lime green walls. On top of this left stone, place a lime green wool, and on top of the right stone, place a dark green. On top of the dark green, place a lime green wool, and then going left of this lime green, place a white wool. Still going left, do a dark green wool, followed by a lime green wool. And on top of that lime green, place a white, and on top of that dark green, place a lime green. Then, going up from that lime green, do 2 stone, 1, 2. Then go right with your lime green wool, followed by your dark green. And on top of that lime green, place a white, and on top of the dark, place a lime green wall. Then, going right of that last dark green wall that you placed, you want to do a row of 5 stone, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a white wall underneath that stone, then a lime green underneath that. Then going right of that lime green, place a dark green wall, and on top of that do a lime green. So what you eventually want to end up with should look a little bit like this, and this is how each one of the individual faces of this ore block will look. It'll look a little bit like this, except of course we have to fill them in with stone, and that's why it doesn't really matter which side you start on, or which side is front, or which side is back, because they are really all roughly the same. Although, later on, if you want to stay 100% dead true to the block itself, the top is slightly influenced by which side is the front, but nobody will notice. It's so minute, it's so minor, nobody will notice. But we'll get to that a little later on. So we're just going to fill this in with stone. We'll have to do this 3 more times, rarely 4 more times, except the 4th time it's going to be from like a top-down looking down sort of deal, and it's going to be a little trickier to do, but we'll manage it anyway. But what we want to have 4 times in total, all the way around the sides, it'll look a little bit like this, and it's nice looking, isn't it? Once you have that taken care of on one side, move on to the next side and do the same thing. So I am going to run through this 3 more times with you guys. I'm going to explain it every time. So starting from the bottom left hand corner here, on top of the second block, we want to place a lime green wall. Going right of that, place a dark green. On top of the lime green wall, place a white, and going right of that, place a lime wall. Go right of that lime wall by 5 with your stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go up on top of that by 1 with your lime green. Go right by 1 with your dark green. On top of the lime green, place a white, and going right of that white, do 1 lime green wall, followed by 4 stones. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then continue going right by doing 1 lime green, then 1 dark green. On top of the dark green, do a lime wall. Then going left of that lime, do a white wall, followed by a stone, a dark green wall, a lime wall. Then on top of the dark green wall that you just placed, do a lime green wall. And going left of that, do a white wall. Continuing to go left, do 2 stone, 1 dark green, 1 lime. Then on top of this lime, do a white wall. On top of the dark green, do a green. Then do stone on top of each one of those 2 blocks. And then on top of the left stone block, do a lime green. And on top of the right stone block, do a dark green. Then place a lime green on top of the dark green. And then going left, do a white wall, followed by a dark green wall. Still going left, place a lime green. On top of that lime, place a white wall. And going right of that, place a lime green wall. On top of the lime green, do 2 stone coming up. Then go right by doing 1 lime wall, then 1 dark green. On top of the lime, do a white wall. Going right of that, do a lime wall. Then, going right of this dark green wall that we have, do a row of 5 stone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go down by 1 with the white wall, 1 with the lime green. Go right of your lime green by 1, the dark green, and then up with your lime wall to give you something which should look a little bit like this. You'll notice this is identical to the first side. Let's fill this in with stone, and then we can do this 2 more times. I know guys, it's a little bit tedious, and honestly, if you have already figured out, kind of like memorized, or you're able to work off of the 2 original sides that you've now done, feel free to just skip ahead in the tutorial to the top, because you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. You can just keep doing the same thing over and over again if you can manage it. But either way, we've got to do these last 2 sides. And there's no point in skipping ahead in the video for me. Like, there's no point in like going away and doing the last 2 sides by myself, because I feel as though that if you guys have got to do it, I may as well do it along with you as well, especially if it isn't going to take a massive amount of time, because I think it's taking us like 3 minutes or so per side, which it's not an incredibly absorbent amount of time, is it guys? So we just about have this second side done. You can see it's identical to the first. Let's move on to the back and we can get the same thing cracking here. So we're now on the back, and starting from the very bottom left hand corner of this block, we want to do 1 lime green wall. Going right of that, a dark green. On top of the lime green, do a white, and going right of that, do a lime wall. Continue going right by 5 with your stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do a lime green wall on top of that stone. Go right by 1 with your dark green. Go on top of the lime green wall by 1 with your white. Then go right by 1 with your lime. Then do 4 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a lime wall, and going right do a dark green. On top of that dark green wall do a lime green wall, and going left of that do a white wall. Continue going left by 1 with your stone, 1 with your dark green, and 1 with your lime. On top of your dark green wall place a lime green wall, and going left of that place a white wall. Continue going left by 2 with your stone. Still going left do a dark green wall followed by a lime green wall. On top of the lime place a white, and on top of the dark green place a lime green wall. Place a stone on top of each one of those two. On top of the left stone, place a lime green wall, and on top of the right stone place a dark green. On top of the dark green place a lime, and going left of that do a white wall, followed by a dark green wall, followed by a lime wall. On top of that lime wall place a white wall, and on top of the dark green place a lime green. Going up on top of that lime green do 2 stone. Then, going right of that is 3 stone, my apologies. Going right of that second stone, do 1 lime wall, followed by 1 dark green. On top of the dark green, place a lime, and going left of that, place a white. Going right of the dark green wall, place a row of 5 stone, that's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. Going down, place a white wall, followed by a lime green. Go right of that lime green by 1 with your dark green. And on top of that place a lime green wall. You will end up with something that should look like this, once again identical to the other 2 sides. Let's fill this in with stone, and then we can move on to the 4th side, or at least once again, just to mention it, the 4th side that is like this one. The last side is like this one, except it's built from a different perspective and therefore slightly trickier, and I'm sure that you guys would definitely want instructions for that, although I'm sure that once you'd completed this the first time, you probably didn't need it again and again and again, but hey, here we are. This is the job. So we are more than halfway done with filling in this particular side. We only have one more to do. It's not taking us a massive amount of time, and once we've done this we can marvel at our beautiful emerald ore block. I really do love the aesthetic of the ore blocks. I don't know why it is, but they are quite pretty. So this is side number 3, identical to the previous 2. Let's move on to the 4th and we can make it a 4er. So we're on the 4th side, bottom left hand corner we want to place a lime green wall. Going right of that place a dark green. On top of the lime place a white, and going right of that white place a lime green wall followed by 5 stone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on top of that place a lime green wall, and going right of that place a dark green. On top of the lime wall place a white, and going right of that place a lime. Going right of the lime, do 4 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, still going right, do a lime green wall followed by a dark green. On top of the dark green, place a lime green, and going left of that, place a white. Continuing to go left, do a stone followed by a dark green wall followed by a lime wall. On top of the dark green, place another lime green. Going left of the lime green, place a white followed by 2 stone followed by 1 dark green, then 1 lime green. On top of the lime green wall place a white, and on top of the dark green place a lime. On top of each one of those place a stone. On top of the left stone do a lime green wall, and on top of the right stone place a dark green wall. On top of the dark green place a lime wall, and going left of that place a white, followed by a dark green, followed by a lime. On top of the lime place a white wall, going right of that place a on top of the lime wall you place a white wall, going right of that you place a lime. Then going up on top of that lime do 2 stone. Then going right of that place a lime wall, and on top of the lime place a white. Going right of that white do a lime, and underneath it a dark green wall. Going right of the dark green do 5 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then going down place a white wall followed by a lime. Going right of that lime a dark green, and going right of the white a lime green. You'll end up with once again this. Let's fill this in with stone, and then we can move on to the top. So last side that we have to do like this, thank God, It is a little bit tedious if nothing else, but at least we get our pretty ore block, and at least we don't have to do the under part either. Although that would be kind of cool. I'm now trying to think of a statue which could incorporate the whole block. I'm not sure that I can think of it though. How could we make a statue out of this which would involve like the whole block, including the bottom, possibly Steve and a pickaxe, maybe a ghast exploding the block, who knows? I don't know. You know what, we probably don't want to delve into this. Before you know it, you're making statues, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you haven't had any sleep, and you're really wondering why you spent the last 6 hours trying to bend Steve's arm in a particular way and making it look right. So, that is the fourth side of your emerald ore block. Once you've got that taken care of, it's now time for us to move on to the top. So, the top. The way that this is supposed to be positioned is... It doesn't look the same from each four sides, so really you should probably pick the very front of your emerald ore block. They're all identical, so, you know, any side, it doesn't really matter. So, this is the front side of the emerald ore block. This is mine. So once you've determined that this is the front side of the block, you want to come to the very top of the block and you want to come towards the back right hand corner. And imagine this as we're like building it down. So we're now looking down, building this way. Take this back right hand corner block here, this very back right hand corner empty block, place a lime wall. Go left of that line by 1 with your dark green. Place a white on top of the lime green, and going left of that, place a lime wall. Going left of that lime, do a row of 5 stone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then, coming towards us, do a lime green wall. Then, still coming towards us, place a white. Going left of the lime green, place a dark green wall. And on top of, underneath this dark green, coming towards us, place a lime green wall. Then going left of that lime, do a row of 4 stone. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then, continuing to go left, do a row of 1 lime, followed by 1 dark green. Underneath the dark green, place a lime green. And going right of that, place a white. Going right of this white wall, do a stone, followed by a dark green wall, then a lime wall. Underneath the dark green, place a lime. Going right of that, do a white wall. Still going right, do 2 stone, 1 dark green, 1 lime green. Underneath the dark green, do a lime wall, and underneath the first lime wall, do a white. Place a single stone underneath each one of those blocks. Then, underneath this left block, do a dark green, and underneath the right, do a lime wall. On top of the dark green wall block, place a lime, and on top of the original lime, place a white. Then, going right of that white, do a dark green wall, still going right, a lime. On top of the lime, a white wall, and on top of that dark green wall, a lime. Coming towards us, do 2 stone. Going left of that second stone, do a dark green wall, and coming towards us, I said dark green, but I meant lime green. From that lime green wall, coming towards us, do a white wall. Going left of that white, do a lime green, and coming down from that lime green, so back towards on ourselves now, do a dark green wall. Then go right of that dark green wall by 5 with your stone, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, underneath that 5th stone, and again we're taking this view, remember guys, do a white wall. Then going right of that white, do a lime wall. Underneath the lime, do a dark green, and going left of that dark green, do a lime. You'll end up with something that should look like this, and isn't it clear what we've just done now that we're looking down on it? It's the same thing that we've done all along. All we have to do is fill the top of this thing in with stone, and we'll have completed our emerald block. So, for whatever reason, I don't know why, like, that is the front, from the front perspective of the block. If you like come up from the front and you look at the top of it, like the pattern is reversed, like it's mirrored, like it's back to front. But for whatever reason, like if you look at the back, it's I don't know why, guys. I don't know why it's reversed. You'd think that logically, like if you looked up from the front and like came to the top, it'd be in like the same order. It'd start from the same side as all of the other sides, but you know, apparently Minecraft doesn't work that way. Is that even making any sense? I'm not sure whether that might make any sense. It might only be in my head that that sentence is understandable, but I think that you guys might understand what I'm talking about. I'll just show you. So that's, for instance, that's the top of the block looking down on it from the front, and you can see that it's like It's the same as the front, but it's like, it's mirrored, it's the other side of it. It starts from the other side, but you wouldn't think that it'd start from that side. You would think that starting from the front, it would be like this, but transferred onto the top, looking from the front onto the top. Anyway, that's a very, very boring conversation. That is the top of the block complete, and that will be that, guys. That is the tutorial, and hopefully you guys have done a few things. Hopefully you've managed to make it. Hopefully you like this statue, and if you've done both of those things, I'd really appreciate if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I would always really, really appreciate. Check out the card system for more things like this. I would highly recommend my Minecraft item tutorials playlist. Not so long ago, I also did a diamond ore block with a diamond pickaxe, smashing out the side of it with all little bits and pieces on the floor. Everything's nice and 3D. It looks very cool. Check out that particular playlist if you like, plus I'll leave links to loads of other videos that I think that you guys might really enjoy. Check out the description below if you also want to as well for further links to more playlists. Also, comment down below, what else would you like to see next? I know you want an Ender Dragon, I'm well aware, I'm gonna do it. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Okay, check out the card system. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below what you want to see next. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.